Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm in my car as you can see, and it's going to be a wild and woolly Saturday because I'm outside of my Target. Probably going to have to go a couple other places as well, but what am I going to do, guys? I'm never going to be one of the cool kids unless I have a Stanley. So I'm going to head in there, see if there's any scraps left, and maybe have to check a couple other places to see if I can fulfill my obligation to join the rest of the pack and get a Stanley Cup. So Target had none. I went to Dick's Sporting Goods, the one in my area, which is a warehouse, and they had no Stanley products whatsoever. So I think I might have to order one online, but I'll be out again on Monday, and I'm going to take a look, guys. I want to see in person. I want to pick one out, feel it, touch it, hold it, etc., all the things. So we'll see. But it's Monday the 15th, guys. And what do you see? A Dick's Sporting Goods bag. That could only mean one thing. I scored! Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Well, what could I say, guys? After a long, hard fight, I got a Stanley. Yes. If you saw my little video clips, I went back out on Monday. I had an appointment to get a facial, and I stopped in the Dick's Sporting Goods that's in the same shopping center where I have my esthetician office. And I went in, went to the back, found the Stanleys, and this is the one that I got. This is the Brush Strokes limited edition, and I got this on Monday, okay? It was Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, you know, the day we acknowledge it. And I went in the back, saw it, had no idea it was a limited edition. I just thought it was pretty, and I snapped it up. So you can see that this is like a pastel watercolor, and then this part here is like a transparent periwinkle lavender sort of color, and the straw is the same color, but it looks a little bit lighter because it's straw shaped. Now, the reason why I'm holding it like this is because I don't even have this filled to the top, and it's really very, very heavy. This is 1.5 liters. So it's 1.5 liters, 40 ounces. So it's actually more liquid than a quart of milk. So picture picking up a quart of milk and drinking from the quart, and you could get some sense of how heavy it is, but the cup itself weighs a good bit, and the liquid amount is greater than what's in the quart. I always remember from Schoolhouse Rock, 1 liter is a little more than a quart. It was in their Learn Metrics little video. But anyway, I have some water filled to about here and some ice, and honestly, I just would not be able to keep lifting this to my mouth because my RA, I don't have good grip strength, and I have a lot of problems with my wrists. I have a lot of swelling, and I don't really have strength like I used to. And I'm not joking, guys. I mean, you really do need to have a little bit of muscle. I mean, yeah, I could lift it, but if I had to carry it around all day by this handle, no way, it's not happening. You got to two-hand this, at least I do. Two-hand it, or kind of like grip it to you like this, like it was, you know, a clutch bag, or I don't know, something else precious. But this reminds me of when I was in high school and the Cabbage Patch Kids craze was a big deal. I mean, it's a fad, not gonna lie. Whether it's gonna stick around or not, who knows? Because there have been various cups that have come out over the years, cups or drinking vessels in general, and they've all had their moment. You had the Hydro flasks, and then those infusion bottles with, you know, space in it that you could throw in some cucumbers or fruit or whatever, and make flavored water, like natural flavored water. And people were really surprised that they were collecting mold. Like, hello, you've got apples and pears that have been fermenting in that bottle. So either it's going to make alcohol, which I'm not really sure what that process is, but it's breaking down, and it's eventually going to grow mold on the fruit and on the inside of the bottle. But anyway, those were really popular for a while, and gosh, I mean, I remember my dad carrying a Stanley thermos back and forth to work, because years ago, before there was a Wawa on every corner, he used to take coffee with him because he didn't like the coffee at the coffee pot that they had in his office. So he would just get it and transport it, and that coffee would stay hot all day because it was in a Stanley vacuum container. But I don't know, they say that this stays cold for 11 hours. Maybe it does. I just filled it up, so I really can't tell you. What I can tell you from my first impressions is that it really seems difficult to thread the lid onto the cup. You have to try a couple of times. You have to put it on a surface. Maybe it's just the one that I got, and you have to kind of get it and make sure that the threads are lined up, because it doesn't automatically kind of fit in and let you spin it. If it's off at all, it's going to leak from, this part here, because it's not actually sealed. But even if you have this on right, which I did manage to do, I'll show you. So this is sealed up straight, and it's sealed up so that there's no gap. If you turn this upside down, the piece at the top that holds the straw, this part here is a spout that you can drink from. And it seems like the water comes out of that part and then kind of flows its way into the top of the lid. So that's where the leak comes from. So if you get this, which I'm not going to do because I don't want to drown my living room, but if you get this and turn it over, that's where it's going to leak from. So if you're going to put this in a backpack, it's really not going to work unless you make sure that you keep everything completely upright. I would definitely not put anything like this in a luxury bag if you were concerned about it leaking. But what can I say? I feel like I'm one of the cool kids now, because everybody had one except me. And I looked all over. I did manage to order one for one of my friends, but I actually wanted the experience of going into Dick's or going into Target, seeing what they have and just buying one off the shelves, because I'm thinking, basically it's sporting goods or fitness equipment or camping gear, so how hard could it be? But apparently it's really hard. There were only a couple colors left when I went into Dick's, but this was supposed to release on the 16th, but I was there on the 15th, on Monday, and they already had these on the shelf. So whether it was or wasn't supposed to be out, I have no idea. But all I know is I grabbed it, I took it up to the front, paid for it, and that was it. None of the places that sell Stanley near me had any in stock. I went to Target, I went to Dick's. I was going to go to a second Target, but it was getting late and it was really windy on Saturday, and I was just like, forget it. I'm just not going to bother, because nobody really needs a water bottle that badly. I mean, I could just go buy my liter bottle of Fiji water, stick a straw in it, and be done. But there's definitely some advantages to having the Stanley. Number one, you could fill this up in the beginning of the day, and let's say you want to make an iced tea, okay? Which is one of the reasons why I wanted this, because I bought some really nice tea bags recently, and days when I'm home, instead of drinking soda, because I really don't drink much soda, and when I do, I drink diet soda, but I don't really drink much of it. Like literally one bottle of Coke, like a 12-ounce bottle of Coke, is going to last me at least 2 servings, because I only take a little bit of it, and usually when I'm having dinner. I don't drink a lot during the day except coffee. And, in the evenings, I do keep water in my little Dior bottle by my bedside in case my mouth gets dry or, I have a cough or something of that nature. But I'm thinking, especially in the summertime, if I'm home and if I want to do an iced tea in the morning, make my iced tea, make my little iced tea concentrate, put it in the Stanley, take it and, ice it up. And if I don't put that much ice in it, and if I pre-cool the bottle, I could just kind of add ice as I need it so that I don't water the whole tea down. But it's supposed to keep the ice still whole. So I just put ice in here. Let's take a look if I can get this off. And let's see if the ice has melted down at all. This is not going to be easy. All right, I can't do it. So I'm going to have to sit this on a table later and really try to screw this off when I empty it out. But I could already hear the ice, and it sounds like the ice melted a little bit when I put water in it because the water wasn't really cold. So there's ice still around, and it seems like the same amount of ice from when I filled it up earlier. So that's that. So we have a beverage tax in the city, and the beverage tax really jacks prices up a pretty good bit. I forget exactly what the percentage is, but I know when I went to Starbucks and I got a tall caramel macchiato, it was over $6, and I was shocked. Oh no, it was a cold brew. And I was shocked, and I'm like, Jesus, over $6 for a tall? I said, are you sure that's right? Oh, yeah. So I looked at the menu, and I saw, and sure enough, whatever, it was over $5 for the drink, and then almost $1 for the tax. So I try not to buy soda when I'm in the city. I try to buy it out of the city so that I don't have to worry about, all that adding up, because it does add up after a while. I like iced tea. I figured I could make iced tea in the Stanley because I don't have a whole lot of room in my refrigerator, because I have other stuff I'm refrigerating, like milk, fruits, groceries, my Meals on Wheels, that kind of stuff. So I need the space. So if this is going to keep cold, great, I'm fine with it. I think to each his own. I don't think that there's a problem with collecting cups. I don't think that there's a problem collecting baseball cards or marbles or handbags or whatever it is that you want to collect, or lipsticks, which I have tons of, dolls. Whatever your jam is, go ahead and go for it. Practically speaking, does anybody need to drink from a $45 mug that's too heavy for them? No, absolutely not. Does my water taste any better in this cup? No, it absolutely does not taste any better. It is chilly, though, I will admit. It feels, very nice and chilled. But I'm already fatigued. And I'm only 12 minutes into this video. And it was only a couple of minutes before I filmed this that I actually filled the cup. So yeah, I'm starting to get to the point where it's going to have to be put down on a table. And that's another thing. You don't have to keep lifting it constantly. You could leave it on the table and just kind of bring it towards you and, duck your head down and give a sip. So there's that. Will I get another one? I don't know. I can't see myself with a wall full of Stanleys, but maybe in the future, I might want to add another color if I like another color. Maybe I might want one specifically for hot drinks, specifically for cold drinks. We'll have to see. A couple of things that I wanted to talk about that I read on the sleeve that was attached to the Stanley is, number one, you're not supposed to use carbonated beverages in the Stanley cup because the pressure with the vacuum could cause a projectile movement where, you're sitting there and the bubbles and the gases start to build up and your lid could blow off and go around the room. Let me tell you a story. One of my friends, her daughter used to take soup to school in a thermos. And one day her thermos, she brought it home because for whatever reason she didn't eat the soup that day. And the thermos was, and I'm using thermos in a generic sense, you know, it was a vacuum bottle, was sitting on her kitchen counter, and all of a sudden it popped like a bottle of champagne, and the lid went flying, and oh gosh, I think it was chikorina soup. So there's a lot of oregano in the chikorina soup, or no, not oregano, parsley. So she had green speckles on the ceiling for quite some time after the soup explosion. So don't put soda in here unless you really want to take a chance. The second thing is they tell you not to use the Stanley with milk. So that means they're really supposed to be used for clear beverages only, because there's a risk that bacteria could build up. And even though they're dishwasher safe, they do suggest that you hand wash if you want to keep the finish on yours looking new. And I can tell you now that this is going to get really awful if I put it in the dishwasher, because this isn't baked into the cup. I'm pretty sure that this is sort of like transferred on, because if I feel over here between where the cup is and where the metal part is, there's kind of a little lip, and you know, it just seems like this is put onto the front rather than being, you know, a metal cup, which is metal all the way through. And they do make some in metal. Not that there's anything wrong. I mean, I think that it's some kind of a metal, but I think that the front of it is, you know, not a decal, but applied somehow. So be aware of that. So don't put it in the dishwasher. So I did order a couple of little accoutrements. I ordered a boot. I ordered some straw covers. And I may get a couple of other accessories because, you know, I have it now. So I may as well get some use out of it. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys updated. And next time I film a video, I'll be sure to take along my Stanley. So, okay, that's my little spiel about Stanley. My own opinions, my own thoughts. I am going to link Autumn Beckman's video because she did a great video about, you know, this Stanley Cup craze. And I think that you should watch it if you haven't already. And if you made it this far, thank you so much. I will see you in my next video. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I'm fun. And you never know what you're going to get on my channel. Could be makeup, could be cups, could be bags, could be anything. I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.